Mahama has signed into law bills aimed at abolishing several taxes, including the controversial electronic transfer levy, e-levy, betting tax and emission tax. This decision aligns with the NDC's manifesto promise and commitment to ease the financial burden on Ghanaians. On March 13, 2025, Finance Minister Dr. Kesala Toba-Force presented 8 tax-related bills to the Parliament. It includes the Electronic Transfer Levy Repeal Bill 2025, Emission Levy Repeal Bill 2025, Income Tax Amendment Bill 2025, the Earmarked Funds Capping and Realignment Amendment Bill 2025. By signing these repealed bills into law, President Mahama aims to fulfill the NDC's pledge to reform the country's tax system and provide relief to individuals and businesses.
This is the Electronic Transfer Levy Repeal Bill. That's the famous e-levy bill. I'll proceed to sign it. Okay, I've just given assent to the repeal of the famous e-levy bill. Now this is the Income Tax Amendment Bill 2025 to remove withholding tax on winnings from lottery, betting and games of chance. This is the famous betting tax repeal bill. And so I'll assent to it, 2nd April 2025. So betting tax is gone. Now this is the Emissions Tax Repeal Bill. So Emissions Levy Repeal Act 2025, Emissions Levy is gone. This is the Earmarked Funds Capping and Realignment Bill. This is the bill that caps the GET Fund and National Health Insurance Levy and moves those resources into the Consolidated Fund. We promise that we'll take the capping off, we'll uncap them. And so this bill uncaps the GET Fund and the National Health Insurance Levy. So the Earmarked Funds Capping and Realignment Amendment Bill has been assented to. So it means GET Fund and NHI will receive the full amount of their levies. Promises delivered.
So that's President Mahama speaking after he assented to these bills into law earlier today. We went to the streets of Accra and a section of the public are excited about this new development. Listen.
I would say that concerning the e-levy and taxing whatever it is, it's a good thing because particularly the e-levy, it was too much. For people to come here, they complain that sending money on their phone, the charges is too much and blah, blah, blah. But you have no say, it's the government. So now that they have taken it off, I think it's a good idea. And since then, I've been seeing the result. Like people come here, they're like, they are happy now the e-levy is gone. And then the betting too is something that's also I'm much happier because I'm into betting.
It's good that it has been abolished, so we are happy with it because it was in his promise. He promised if he wins, you are abolished. So as we have done, we thank God.
I think most of the youth will be happy about it because the bet, especially, it's not that easy to win it. Understand? So I think most of the youth will be happy about it, and the e-levy too. It's not that bad because the tax already they can't account for what they are using the levy for it. So for the president to take it out, I think it's a good idea. And in general, I think now Ghana will be happy because now the dollar is coming down.
A section of the public obviously excited. Let's see whether the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana are also excited because that's one group that really did not like the introduction of the e-levy. Evans Otumfor as the General Secretary of the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana. Evans, grateful for your time tonight on 505. I'm sure your members are excited about this new development, aren't they?
I mean, excitement would be an understatement.
Okay.
And so it has been what it is and what exactly we have been expecting. I mean, right from the promise to the reality, it really means so much good for the business and the rank and file of the agent body. I said that finally the promise has been kept, and we are going to be seeing our customers and our consumers happy once again, and people who may have decided to rescind from the usage of mobile money, just with the announcement that the president has assented to it. All these individuals will believe that they are going to get back to us to cause the necessary traffic that, we have been experiencing prior to the implementation of the levy.
You said that it's going to mean so much for the business. You're talking about traffic as well. Help us understand what the removal or the cancellation of this e-levy really means to the mobile money business.
Yes, what it means is that the banks will now be willing to do business with the mobile money agents because e-levy is no more available.
At first, the banks were not willing to do business with you guys?
Exactly. Once the e-levy had been introduced, the banks that were initially serving us with, certain soft credit, all these banks have put back.
Okay.
And those that continue to, it means that they have factored in the cost of e-levy, and all of these have contributed to the cost of banking facilities that agents have been given. But majority of the banks, because transferring funds to the agents and then crediting the agents comes with e-levy application, they have stopped. And for the past 2 to 3 years now, the banks are always having to deal with or struggle with the idea that they are going to be paying e-levy in an attempt to send credit or money to the agent. So now that the e-levy is no more there, that the banks will now come full chest out to design whatever credit facility that the agent will be needing. Then again, the agent would also invest very well in the business. New outlets would equally be created and open, hence leading to the creation of additional sources of employment. The traffic that we have been observing prior to the implementation of the e-levy, we are going to be getting this traffic. And it is important that perceptions and speculations really have so much impact on every business.
Okay.
And so just as the e-levy was introduced or prior to it finally being implemented, we have seen a lot of downward change in the consumer behavior.
Okay.
And so now that the e-levy has actually taken off, just the idea alone is good for our businesses because a lot of people who have decided not to use Momo, or those who may have decided to reduce the volume that they transfer using the mobile money platform, all of these individuals will come back and then they will equally, resume to the usage of mobile money at full length. Now, our profit is also going to be increased, which would also mean that government is going to get enough revenue from mobile money agents and then the ecosystem at large.
Okay. Evans, before I let you go, have you tried it today to really ascertain whether it's off, or per your communication with the network providers, they've given you a particular time that this is going to be in effect?
Yes, what is going to happen now, we've gone through the passage of bill. Today it's been assented to by the president. Now the state press would also have to gazette it. Now once that is done, the rest of the work has to do with the technical and the system work, which the DRA is just on standby.
Okay.
As soon as the gazetting is completed and they are officially served, they are going to implement it. And so if for nothing at all, within the next 24 hours, e-levy should be away. But it is also possible that by 12 midnight or 8 a.m. today, it is possible that e-levy will be out of the system. But just so we measure consumers' expectations, we need to give ourselves for some 24 hours to really experience the change that we are all envisaging. But if it happens that by 12 a.m. it goes live, I mean, it means that the GRA and the other, technical institutions have officially received the Gazette, which now permits them to follow what the law is saying.
It's very grateful for your time. Evans Otunfo is the General Secretary of the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana. I still have on the line a Senior Lecturer in Business Ethics and Econometrics at UPSA, Dr. Benny Asha. Doc, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time tonight on 505. Doc, can you hear me? Hello, it's Dr. Benny.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now, Doc.
I can hear you.
I
yes.
hope you can also hear me. Good.
Yes, I can, yes.
Some will say once it's a good news for others, some people might not be really good news because, yes, we are removing one tax, we are not replacing it, and the economy might not be well. From where you sit, is it good news, the cancellation of e-levy and the betting tax and others as well?
Well, good evening, and as is to your listeners. As you rightly said, when taxes are removed, it's always good news for one part of the population, and then also bad news for one part, the other part of the population. Let me specifically go to who it's bad for. It's bad for the government because taxes is the key source by which the government raises revenue. So if you are abolishing these taxes, that means that you're losing income. All right. Now, if the Ghanaian government is losing income, this is not a good thing because the taxes are the prime source of income for the government, alongside foreign aid. So if we are abolishing these taxes, then the government is cutting down on the revenue stream that's coming in. But let me focus on these three taxes. So we got e-levy that's been taken out, the betting tax that's been taken out, and then the emissions levy. Now, of these three, the one that I think makes the most business sense is the e-levy, because you see, the levy itself was slapped on monetary transactions, Momo, transfers from business to business, or to business to customers, customer to customer, and then from bank to customer. So it did put a bit of a spanner in the wheel of business, because it means that anytime you're transferring money, you're having to pay these taxes, which then makes business itself conducting a bit difficult. But when you look at betting tax, the person that was affected the most was the person that was actually staking the bet. And we know for a fact that betting is in the same league as cigarette smoking and alcohol, where, which is something that's frowned upon by most countries everywhere. If you go to any country, governments put taxes on these vices. These are vices, all right? So that, first of all, the impact on the population can be reduced. And also the government is charging people for engaging in something that's not the best type of behavior. So if you're taking it away, what you're saying is that, okay, carry on betting, which is essentially gambling. So carry on gambling. I don't see who benefits from this gambling, apart from the individual that may get some return. And if you know anything about gambling, you know that it's mostly the organization behind the gambling that wins, and not the individual that actually stakes the bet. So I'm not sure what exactly the point is for removing the betting tax, because essentially what it means is that you want people to carry on doing it more. And why would you want to people to bet? I mean, it's not a productive activity. You want to trigger production, consumption, and distribution in the economy. So if people are going to engage in betting, this is not an essential economic activity that the government actively supports in order to trigger economic development.
So to you,
I hope you understand what I mean.
To you, the e-levy, yes, is good as gone, but the betting tax should have stayed.
No, because we must judge the removal of all these taxes on the basis of the impact it has on the economy. If you remove e-levy, it smoothens the pipelines of business and makes the conduct of business easier, which then increases productivity. That's fine. But what exactly does removing the betting levy do, apart from encouraging people to bet more? Nothing. Not in economic terms, anyway. And if you look at the emissions, there is a worldwide agenda. I mean, I teach environmental management, and there's a worldwide agenda for tackling climate change. And emissions is one key factor which increases global warming. Now, if you're removing that emissions tax, what you're saying is that global warming and climate change is not a priority. But we know, according to the Sustainable Development Goals, something that I'm going to be teaching in the next 2 weeks, that it is a global agenda that all governments actively take steps to reduce their country's production of harmful greenhouse gases. So if you're taking that off, what exactly are you trying to say? You're saying that it's okay to produce more greenhouse gases.
But these taxes, I mean, the emission tax,
goes against the grain.
Those who buy fuel pay it. It's part of a petroleum price build-up. So it's already there. It's already there, part of the petroleum price build-up. So why would you want to do another levy for that again?
Well, because we know that developing countries like Ghana do not actively engage in actions that reduce greenhouse gases. We don't. For example, in the United Kingdom, if you take your car for a roadworthy test, the gas that's coming, the emissions that's coming from your exhaust, your exhaust fumes are tested to see how much carbon dioxide and how much methane is coming out of your exhaust pipe. If it goes beyond a certain amount, the roadworthy test fails. You fail it. You need to go and repair it so that the emissions is reduced. We don't do that in Ghana. Everybody knows in Ghana that if you want a roadworthy, you just walk into the BBLA, you smile and wave, or you do a favor to somebody and they put it on your screen. So if you are taking the messages that emissions levy coming off, the effect is it is okay for greenhouse gases to go unchecked. That's what the message is.
Okay. So again, you think that emission tax should stay, betting tax should stay?
No, what I'm saying is that I do not, unless they're more intelligent than I am, I suspect. So unless they have a particular reason which they have for removing betting tax, I don't get the point. Who are you trying to give money to? The person that's taken the bet? Gambling is, this is the first time I'm hearing gambling. Governments put in place measures to trigger growth. All right, they reduce taxes so that people can have more disposable income, or organizations can have more income to invest in resources. All right. Now, if you're taking this off, well, who's your target here? What exactly are you trying to achieve? I don't get it. Not for betting, anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, Doc. We are very grateful that you joined us.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Benny Asha is a senior lecturer in business ethics and econometrics at UP.